for the Chinese Communist Party, believing in any religion or having a spiritual life is considered as a potential threat or sign of disloyalty. So the Communist Party find a way to make their religion in line with their own ideology. So instead of worshiping God, when you go to the places of worship, you worship Xi Jinping. You study Xi Jinping thoughts. So they are engaging in human re-engineering with this terminology that they've been widely using, transformation. Thought transformation in a way of saying that we're cleansing somebody's religious belief out of their mind, out of their soul, and replacing it with communism and Xi Jinping thoughts.
Thought transformation, another set of words that sent a chill down my spine. So this is basically completely antithetical to any faith, really, right?
Yeah, the Chinese government, particularly the current government under Xi Jinping's leadership, see anything that creates resentment against the Chinese government or anything different than what they've been promoting, specifically in an ideological front, the term that they use a lot, can be seen as a source for potential unrest, cause for future instability to the Communist Party, to the Chinese state. Stability is a paramount concern. They will do anything that it will help them to achieve this superficial stability. Let me just use this example, Turkmenistan, North Korea are very stable. Why? It's a dictatorship.
So Nury, you make a distinction between the Chinese Communist Party and the Chinese nation, perhaps even the state. What's the distinction exactly?
When policymakers, people who criticize the Chinese government's behaviors, need to know that both domestic and international policies being formulated, implemented domestically and internationally, has a lot to do with the Communist Party. So we need to focus on the Communist Party much more than what we have, particularly in the last 3-4 years. Because if you're not careful with the rhetoric, with the way that you put together your criticism towards the government, it may create backlash against the Chinese Americans, particularly in this country. And also, if you don't recognize the danger the CCP is posing to the stability, civil rights, human rights, religious freedom around the world, you will not be able to formulate an effective foreign policy to tackle CCP threat. So the recognition of the CCP, the recognition of CCP China's ambition around the world is a baby step into the right direction. Without that kind of recognition, it's impossible to formulate an effective, long-lasting foreign policy agenda.
You mean that you have to kind of understand what the Chinese Communist Party is about as opposed to China as a nation? Is that
absolutely, yeah. Absolutely? This government, this nation, is run by a group of Communist Party project. Without knowing, without really focusing on what they have been saying. There's a document, number 9 document, that was secretive initially, been now public. If you read the lines carefully, it shows that this is all about CCP's future. So it goes to the heart of what Xi Jinping government has been formulated, implemented domestically under the guise of social credit system, which is a way of monitoring Chinese citizens. The China has been effectively managed to put in place a most draconian surveillance system domestically, and now they exporting it. This is a way of exporting and expanding CCP influence around the world. So this is a much different type of threat that people need to recognize and reckon with.
So you've just watched a clip from an American thought leader's interview, and as you probably know, I pour my heart and soul into these. YouTube has been censoring some entirely mainstream videos lately, including things like Florida Governor DeSantis's coronavirus roundtable. We've even had some of our own videos removed from YouTube for no clear reason whatsoever. And frankly, I don't find this to be appropriate. I don't find this to be acceptable. I don't want to be sitting around thinking what YouTube may or may not feel like they want to censor. And beyond that even, YouTube has demonetized us for the past 2 months. Ostensibly, we're working to resolve the issue, but our hopes are kind of fading when it comes to this. So what is our response to this? Well, we've started our own platform, Epoch TV. Now, Epoch TV is the premium Epoch Times video platform. It's got American thought leaders, but it also has The Larry Elder Show and Crossroads with Joshua Phillip and a number of other programs. So you can get Epoch TV for this low introductory rate of $4.99 a month. And in so doing, you're actually supporting the Epoch Times as an organization. You're supporting uncensored news. You're supporting groundbreaking investigative reporting. And you're supporting these deep dive interviews that I love doing so much. Please join us.